40 metros. Está llamando la Charlie 31 Yankee América.
Today is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, and we're diving into the darkest corners of today's true crime headlines, unfolding puzzles, reopened cases, and long-awaited answers. A web of deception in Kishangarh, India. The recent murder of Hansraj Kashyap has exposed a tangled web of betrayal. His body was discovered inside a blue drum, leading to the arrest of his wife, Lakshmi Devi, and her alleged lover, Jitendra Kumar. Investigations reveal Jitendra's controversial past, including the unresolved death of his wife 12 years ago and his habit of providing a separate room for Lakshmi. Retired police officer Bhagirath Gaur has publicly decried Jitendra's character, while Jitendra's family grapples with the stigma of his actions. A father's tragedy rocks Washington State in a heartbreaking case out of Washington State, US. Army veteran Travis Decker is wanted for the murders and kidnappings of his three young daughters, Peyton 9, Evelyn 8, and Olivia 5, found deceased in early June near Rock Island Campground. Evidence is particularly damning. Each child died from asphyxiation inside plastic bags, with some tied using zip ties. DNA evidence linking Decker to the crime scene prompted a manhunt with a $20,000 reward. Sightings in Washington and Idaho remain unconfirmed, but Canadian flight searches hint at a possible escape route. Decades later, a breakthrough in Illinois almost 29 years after her disappearance. Illinois police have charged 50-year-old Jameson Fisher with the murder of 11-year-old Trudy Appleby, who vanished in Moline in 1996. Fisher was connected to the case as early as 2020, but fresh evidence has finally led to an indictment on multiple counts of murder. Though Trudy's remains have not been found and the statute of limitations bars kidnapping charges, authorities say this development brings much-needed accountability, and yet little closure. Innovative forensics aim to solve a 1996 Irish cold case. Sophie Toscan du Plantier, a French filmmaker brutally murdered near County Cork in 1996, has become the focus of renewed investigative efforts. US forensic experts from MVAC Systems recently applied advanced DNA techniques using wet vacuum technology on key evidence such as a rock and concrete block from the crime scene. Irish authorities and the Gardaí hope these tools will finally crack the century-long mystery. Her mother, Marguerite Buniol, has expressed cautious optimism that this long-awaited justice might soon be within reach. That's all the news we have for today. Please subscribe so you don't miss our next episode.
All right, Sophia. I was just reading about this case, the one in Kishangarh, India. It just sounds incredibly messy, right?
Oh, absolutely, David. So messy. Like, it's about Hansraj Kashyap, right? His body turns up in, of all places, a blue drum. And it's immediately his wife, Lakshmi Devi, and her alleged lover, Jitendra Kumar, who get arrested. But here's the kicker. Jitendra, he's got a past, a really controversial one.
A past? Like, what kind of past are we talking about here? Because, the way the article laid it out, it sounds like he's just got this whole other life going on, even with the separate room for Lakshmi, which is pretty bold.
Yeah, exactly. It's super bold. So, 12 years ago, his own wife died under unresolved circumstances. And now this. A retired police officer, Bhagirath Gaur, he just went public, totally decrying Jitendra's character. His family, they're just grappling with, the immense stigma of all his actions. It's just a complete tangled web of betrayal, like you said. Just, right out of a movie.
Wow, that's quite a story. Switching gears a bit, what about that gut-wrenching case in Washington State? The one with Travis Decker and his daughters. I mean, my God, it broke my heart reading it.
Oh, David, it's truly horrific. Absolutely heartbreaking. Travis Decker, he's a U.S. Army veteran, and he's wanted for the murders and kidnappings of his 3 young daughters, Peyton, 9, Evelyn, 8, and Olivia, who was just 5. They were found deceased in early June near Rock Island Campground.
Inside plastic bags, right? And with, like, zip ties? That's what the article said. I mean, that detail it paints such a grim picture. And then the DNA evidence too, right?
Absolutely damning, yeah. Each child died from asphyxiation inside those plastic bags, some even tied with zip ties. And yes, the DNA evidence linking Decker to the crime scene was undeniable. That's what prompted this massive manhunt with like a $20,000 reward. They've had unconfirmed sightings in Washington and Idaho, but here's the thing. Like Canadian flight searches, they really hint at a possible escape route north of the border. It's just a terrible, terrible tragedy.
Unbelievable. Okay, so from that just devastating case, let's pivot to something that feels a bit more like a glimmer of hope, though still incredibly tragic. The Trudy Appleby case in Illinois. 29 years, Sophia. 29 years. How did they finally get a breakthrough?
It's incredible, isn't it? Almost 3 decades. So, Illinois police have now charged 50-year-old Jamison Fisher with the murder of 11-year-old Trudy Appleby, who vanished in Moline back in 1996. Fisher, he was connected to the case as early as 2020, but it was fresh evidence, that finally led to an indictment on multiple counts of murder. Even though Trudy's remains haven't been found and the statute of limitations means no kidnapping charges, authorities are saying this brings much needed accountability, even if it's not full closure, right?
Right, accountability versus closure. And speaking of innovative approaches, what about that Irish cold case, the Sophie Toscan du Plantier one? I saw they're using really advanced US forensics tech to re-examine things. What exactly are they doing?
Oh, this is fascinating. So Sophie was a French filmmaker brutally murdered near County Cork in 1996. And now, U.S. forensic experts from MVAC Systems, they're applying advanced DNA techniques using what they call wet vacuum technology on key evidence, like a rock and a concrete block from the crime scene. Irish authorities and the Gardaí, they're really hoping these tools will finally crack this decades-long mystery. Her mother, Marguerite Bugnol, she's expressed cautious optimism, that justice might finally be within reach. It's a really, really exciting development in forensics, honestly.